Welcome to the Living Big podcast, where we're all about embracing life to the fullest. Hey, I'm Marley.
And I'm Kylie, and we're thrilled you're here. We explore how to pursue our passions, nurture meaningful connections, and inject some serious fun into our lives.
We're here to show you you're not alone.
And we want to do what we can to ease the stresses of everyday life and help you in your journey of living big.
Hello, and welcome back to the Living Big podcast. It has been a hot moment since we have been here, since we've recorded. We have decided it's been about 6 weeks.
Yeah, since we recorded.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're still getting episodes.
Yeah.
I'm just still pregnant in all of them.
Yeah. We were just on top of it and got way ahead, so that way Kylie could have a lovely maternity leave and recover like normal. But first episode, unpregnant.
Unpregnant. I love that. No longer pregnant.
Perfnat.
Pregnant.
Pregante.
Progonne. I don't know. Pregger.
Yep.
However you say it.
Yeah. However
No
you wanna
longer
say it.
pregnant. It feels so good. I can lay on my belly.
Do you really though?
I
Because
can
then
lay on
there's
my
like
back. Yeah, I mean,
the chesticles.
yeah, chesticles. Oh, I'm so.
I'm sorry. We should cut that part out.
Nope, it stays in there. If you don't know that we give TMI here sometimes, now you know. They already know.
I mean, we haven't gone fully into like crazy TMI just yet.
No, we've just talked about like juices and stuff like that.
Leakage.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We have no end date in mind, so I'm sure at some point it will get.
And we don't have a lot of filters with each other.
No.
So.
It's so funny because Kylie will always be like, sorry if this is TMI. And I'm like, since when?
We've already
Since
shared
when
too
is
much.
TMI?
It's too much. Too
Also,
much has been
like,
shared to go back.
You'll give me a disclaimer before something that I'm like, that didn't need a disclaimer. And then sometimes you won't. And I'm like, that may have needed a disclaimer.
I would have appreciated.
So her like gauge on what might need the disclaimer is out the window.
You know, I'm just trying to be polite, but then sometimes it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
She knows.
Yep.
We're too close.
Yeah.
We're too close for the disclaimers.
Yeah.
But we're excited to be back here.
So excited.
So much has happened since we recorded. Obviously, we talked about me not being pregnant anymore, but we've had job crazies. We've had life crazies.
Wow.
We both have 2 children now.
We don't really ever like talk about kind of in-depth things on what's going on in our lives.
No, like in our personal lives.
Yeah.
We're just like, here's a cool topic. Let's dive in. And it's awesome.
But like, I mean, it was like almost 3 months that like our husbands didn't get paid for a minute there.
They didn't get paid for work they had done.
Right.
Not just like, oh, they lost their jobs.
No, they were still working. They were like, hey, we'll pay you when we can.
No, they didn't even say that.
No, they didn't.
No hate, no shame, except for a lot of hate and a lot of shame.
We just, we live in an inflated world and we needed groceries and paying rent and stuff.
Yeah, we got the first paycheck of
Right.
3.5 missed paychecks yesterday.
Whew.
So
Thank the Lord. Oh my gosh. Whew. That really was needed.
So that's a little life update.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, like I have a fun life update. I have an almost 1-year-old. Very soon she's going to be 1.
By the time this episode comes out, I think she will be.
Holy nuggets. Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be 1.
We'll have a 1-year-old. Ooh, that's so crazy. I know. Oh, nuts.
I can't believe, because today in our stories I shared that I was taking maternity photos of you this time.
Last year.
When we're recording right now. This time last year.
Yeah.
But by the time this airs, you will literally have a 1-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, yeah. She's so cute and perfect. I love her so much.
I love our babies.
And then you have the cutest, squishiest little boy. Oh my gosh. He is an angel.
Humans that are listening, he's so cute. I'm so in love. I am absolutely obsessed. He is so squishy. The squishy. Everyone talked about newborn bliss and like newborn snuggles and how the newborn phase was just amazing.
Yeah.
And I never got it until I had this little guy, because I was like, yeah,
Coley was tough.
Newborn wasn't my like favorite phase.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. Well, maybe.
I mean, like, you're trying to recover, plus it was really stressful, and it's just like,
and she was
stress upon
colicky
stress.
and all the things. So this time I'm recovering way better, and he is an absolute angel. Like, when he does cry, which is super rare, and he sleeps really well, it's like really sad when he cries because he doesn't cry ever. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's really cute. I'm very obsessed, but he's starting to lose his hair off the top of his head again. And I'm like, let's not repeat the skullet.
The skullet. Classic.
Infamous. The infamous skullet. I will provide
He just wear hats
evidence
or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
With Coley, you could have covered it up with like bows and stuff.
yeah, we did. We did all the big, thick bows.
Yeah. Probably can't
But I
cover it
love
with
his hair
hats.
so much. He had more hair than Coley even had. And it felt more significant. So I'm like, but it's like getting farther back. But we called him Fuzzy Duckling because it was like just like all over the place.
So cute.
So I'm like, please don't leave. But it's okay. What you gonna do?
He's so cute. Oh,
Yeah, he is.
What a
He
sweet
is
baby.
perfect. So yes, life is good.
yeah. Life is tumultuous,
Yeah.
but overall amazing at the same time. We're going to have the summer of our lives on the smallest budget.
Yeah.
I think we already are.
No, and here's the thing I've actually learned, which was really cool. My husband Hiram and I were talking at the beginning. We were like, oh, it'd be so much more fun if we had like more money to spend. And then we started getting crafty and thinking, oh, we want to go get ice cream instead of going and getting a $20 milkshake at the $20 milkshake place that we like. Let's go to Macy's and get 3 ice creams for $2. And they're the soft serve. And yeah, it's not the exact same thing, but it's very similar, you know? And like Coley now thinks that that's the ice cream store.
Aww.
When you go into Macy's to get a cone, she's like, the ice cream store.
So cute.
So it's so fun. So we've been like trying to do some more of those things. And right after I had a baby, we wanted to go see a movie super bad, but both we had, 2 children and then also money. So instead we go and do a picnic in the back of our truck.
Yeah.
And you can watch something on your phone. It's been really fun to kind of like be crafty and think through some different ways
and then you got
to have
free
similar
tickets
experiences.
to go see Inside Out 2.
If you haven't seen Inside Out 2, by the time that you listen to this podcast, highly encourage it. It is so, I cried 3 times.
Oh.
Holding my babies. I was like, there's a few lines in there, and anxiety is so real, and just growing up and all the emotions that it introduced from just like the classic emotions in Inside Out 1. If you haven't seen Inside Out 1 either, also go watch it.
Love that one.
It just like grew. It was so good.
Aww.
It was really, really good.
I want to go watch it.
I love animated movies though. Some people like think they're only for children, but I love them.
Absolutely not.
I think they're so cute.
Some of the best movies ever are animated.
Yeah.
We always talk about Shrek, or
We rewatched Shrek when we had Augie.
it's so
We're
fun.
like, we gotta have a Shrek.
We just rewatched the
marathon.
second one, and that one was so fun.
Yeah, we watched the first and second. Now I gotta watch
loved
the other ones.
it. It was so good, and yeah, I know I got to keep going.
I know.
I love The Last Wish of Puss in Boots. That one's so good.
So good. We went and saw
Obviously,
that in the theaters.
like
when
Spider
it came out.
Verse,
Uh-huh.
different level.
Tangled is my all-time favorite.
Well, and then my husband is obsessed with cars, right?
Yeah.
Incredibles. Whew.
Incredible.
There are some amazing. We just watched the Kung Fu Panda 4 because that one's on Peacock. So good.
So good.
I loved it. People are just so creative.
Yeah.
And I think you can do more in animated shows than you can do in live
Oh, for
action.
sure. Oh, yeah.
It's way more magical, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I am all about magic.
And I just, it's so like imaginative.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really fun for me.
Creative, imaginative. So
Fun fact, I used to want to be an animator back in the day.
I mean, you'd be an amazing
Thought it would be
animator.
really, really fun. And so when Tangled came out and they did the hair, which is like super hard to do.
They said they had to create a whole new software
Yeah.
for her hair.
And they had to do like shadows and lights and like all the things. Anyway, I went to it and I literally sobbed just watching the animation, let alone the story is amazing. Right. And the people who sing in it are fantastic.
I think it's peak Disney.
It is peak Disney.
There's like a couple. For me, it's like Mulan,
Yeah.
Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Part of it is like the music.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid and Tangled.
Yeah.
Those are the ones.
Oh, I love Tangled so much. I feel like Frozen for like little kids like overtook Tangled.
Yep.
But hot take, meh. Tangled's where it's at.
Frozen 2 is good,
Yeah.
but Tangled's still better.
Tangled. Everything about it. Can't say enough.
Perfection.
She's so cute. I'm Okay, that's not what we're talking about today. But really quickly, how are you? Because I did a lot of life updates.
I know, but I did too. I have an almost 1-year-old.
That's true.
She's going to be 1 by the time this comes out.
Cool.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Life is pretty good. I am really busy with work. Work is kicking my butt, but I'm learning so much and it's so fun. I didn't know I could feel this level of busy and stressed all at the same time.
And still be surviving.
And like feel super fulfilled even.
Good.
Yeah.
So it's not just like white knuckling.
Yeah. It'll be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I just let my boss know like, hey, I need to take a half day kind of thing. She's like, sure, yeah. I have the most amazing boss though.
We love jobs that treat you like a human though. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's so good. Anywho. And so I'm just like, oop, I need a day. And she's like, whatever you need kind of thing. I love it. It's so cool. And I know that my kind of like endurance with that is going to go further and longer.
Yeah.
I just don't have as much practice in the corporate world and I'm new to it, but I'm really loving it.
Oh, you're awesome.
Just kind of learning so much.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Way to go.
Thanks.
We're really excited. Today's episode's going to be super fun.
I feel like we should do this more often where we just kind of like give little updates on how we're doing.
Let us know if you liked that.
Yeah.
I mean, we want you to get to know us so that you enjoy listening and you feel like, I mean, we want to get to know you too. So all the way around, we want to get to know each other. But
Let's be friends.
We'll give some updates.
Yeah.
Some real life stuff.
Yeah.
Periodically.
Love it. Let's share a review because we keep getting more and more and I just want to share them every single time because they're so fun. But we have a super sweet review from girl123456
nice
on Apple on Apple Podcast. I'm a podcast noob, but grow as you go was the best way to end my night and I may have cried in the club a little bit. I'm so excited to be on this podcast train. Isn't that so cute?
Thank you for reviewing a specific episode too.
I know.
That helps us know like what you guys are enjoying.
Yeah.
And that's really fun for us to know like, oh, they resonated with that episode. That's so cool.
Oh, and it's great because that like is a special episode for both of us, I think. So yeah. Love it. Glad you guys liked it too. Recently, I went home to Texas and I was going through a bunch of boxes of my old clothes and books and stuff like that. And that's kind of what spurred, we had kind of this idea on like the books or whatever, but that's really what like slingshot this
like let's do this right now.
Yes, because I was going through all these boxes and things and I had to show her everything and just oh my gosh,
it was so fun. I got Marco Polos all day and I loved it.
It was really fun. But I was going through a bunch of like the clothes that I wore in high school. We had very specific uniforms and whatnot, but it was fun to kind of see all of that. But we knew that we had to like recreate some of the photos. So,
get ready.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that.
You know, the classic. So just to point out, we graduated in the 2010s.
Yes, we have been graduated for 11 and 10 years.
It's crazy.
What a perfect time to do this episode, to recreate our photos.
Reminisce. But I feel like there was a very specific style, obviously, in the 2010s.
Yes.
And then not only that, but a very specific style of photography too.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to recreate in a photo shoot.
Yes.
With some of the outfits, some of the hairdos,
yep,
and some of the ankles, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. They're very particular.
I'm so excited.
Hopefully you catch the vision. Anywho, but it just brought up all of the nostalgia, all the fun, and I had to hold on to some of the clothes from that time in my life. I don't know if any of them fit. I still haven't tried them on, but
I'm like a little bit sad because I recently went through my closet and I had a couple that I actually wore in my senior photos that I kept, and I got rid of them.
Oh.
And I'm like, I should have put them in like a sentimental bin or something like that.
Just for a little bit?
Just for like two of them.
Take
like
a couple
the two
of pictures?
outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure I like donated, got rid of them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, too bad. But they're iconic.
Yeah.
It was an iconic time.
Yeah.
And high school, it really is like, I know we graduate and move on, and I think we should. I don't want to be a super, super, super senior. That's not what the purpose of this episode is.
No.
But at the same time, like it really did build a big portion of our lives into who we became today.
Yeah.
Like that's like you spring off of that and you become who you're meant to be, right?
Agreed, yeah.
But it's a huge, huge portion of your life. And if you think back to it, I'm always like, why did I think high school was so important? Like, why did I dedicate so much mental energy to it. But it was my everyday, all day, extracurriculars, homework, the classes I was taking, the friends you were making. And that is really a time developmentally where you're like swallowed up in yourself and you don't know who you are and everything. So I'm like, it's fun to reminisce. It's fun to look back and be like, who was I? Who am I now?
Yeah.
And there are some fun, epic memories in high school that you just gotta laugh at now.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. So fun. All right.
So we're going to get into some of our nostalgic favorites from this time period. Those 4 years of high school.
That's pretty quick, actually.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, like, when I was little, wow, it's so far away. And then when you start as a freshman, you're like, this is long. Eternal.
And by the time you're a senior, you're like, I have senioritis and I need to get out to the real world. I've been here forever and I'm like the king of this school.
And now it's been 10 years since we've been to school. And
it's like blink and here we are.
Yeah.
Having multiple babies.
Right.
Yep. It's insane. But we were looking back at some of the movies that came out when we were in high school. And some of these were like literally iconic for me.
Oh, so iconic.
I remember I went and saw Interstellar with my dad at an IMAX theater in Salt Lake City.
That's how you do it.
And it was mind-blowing. I was like sold. Wanted to name, actually my husband still wants to name one of our future daughters Murphy after the movie. But then it's kind of a dog's name, so like probably not. But I love Interstellar so much. It was magical. The stars, space, the music, all of it was so cool.
So good. So good. I was thinking about how I went to the premieres of both Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. Harry Potter, I should say. I got on the bandwagon of reading because of like Twilight and Hunger Games and Divergent. And that's when I started picking up Harry Potter. And it wasn't until I was like in high school that I really started reading. That's not true. I read like all kind of through school or whatever growing up.
But like really attached to like Harry Potter at that time.
Yeah. Because the movies were coming out at the same time that I was reading the books.
That's so fun.
And I had finished all of the books by the time that the last one came out.
Oh, that's awesome.
In 2012. Oh my gosh. That was so fun to go to the premiere of.
What an era. Do you remember like midnight premieres? They don't do
this
those anymore.
For so many movies.
Line up in an outfit. Or was that just me?
No.
Did other people do
that?
Outfits?
Was not just you.
Okay.
Absolutely not just you.
Beg your mom to let you stay up and go to the showing the night before.
You also couldn't pick what seat you were at, so you had to get there early.
Yes.
So that way,
standing in a line,
you got good seats. So you were there like 2 to 3 hours early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would like play music. It was like a whole event. A whole
You'd have to stand like off to the side. They had a line for you. And then you'd kind of like be friends with whoever was in line kind of thing because they were going to go see that movie too.
Okay, this was a crazy thing. The other day I was Marco Poloing one of my friends and I was showing her my senior photos. And we were like, all of us were showing our senior photos because why not? It's hilarious. So cute. You know?
Absolutely.
But she was like, oh my gosh, these look kind of country. Like they almost look like small town girl vibes.
It was bohemian chic.
But she was like train tracks. Like where'd you find those in Utah? And like
everywhere.
Like fields and things like that. And I was like, okay, like if you're from Utah now, this is not the Utah I grew up with. It was a lot more small town. Yeah. I lived next to an open field. Now, can you find an open field?
Yeah.
Not in the valley because we're smashed together with so many houses.
Right.
But the movie theater that we went to in Lehigh, there were no big buildings, no giant tech companies down there.
Just the Thanksgiving Point one?
It was the Megaplexes there now, but it was tiny and it was broken down and it was old.
Oh.
It was dank and it was surrounded by swamp. Like fields and
Nasty.
It was swampy and it was gross and it was like literally like no one's ever going to live out here. No one can build out here. We can't put any buildings out here side of the highway.
Yeah. And now it's a tech hub.
Now there's Saratoga Springs and Eagle Mountain, all those. But at the time, literally it was like a podunk little tiny movie theater that we would go to. So, and that's where we'd go for all the premieres and stuff. Yeah. But now I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, like Utah has exploded, obviously. Yeah. And there's so many things I like about it and so many things I don't like about it. But that's not the point of this. More of just like my memories of like that time period. It was like more small town vibes.
It was.
Broken down movie theater. Make it a huge event whenever you went to a movie.
It was also like a little country as well.
Yeah, it was.
Like Utah, I think, I'm from Texas. And I gotta say, like, I don't know if many people do rodeo like Utah does. Still, it's such a big deal still. Like,
Yeah.
it's still a pretty country place.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
It really is.
Yeah.
But now we obviously have way more infrastructure and
Right.
stuff. All that to say,
Yeah.
going to the movies was like a full event.
Yeah.
And it was so fun.
Yeah.
Another favorite movie from back then was Inception. And that played with my brain so much. That
Yeah.
just like lived in my head.
So good.
And I would like think about like, can I do Inception on other people?
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Oh my goodness. There were so many movies. There were so many that were like iconic like that.
Yeah.
That changed, I feel like, the game
Oh, for sure.
movie-wise.
Yeah.
Oh man, they were so good.
What were some of your other favorite ones?
Well, I mean, we kind of talked about it, but like Twilight.
Oh, so good. I also went to the premieres of those.
Like we still watch the movies.
yeah.
But yes, Twilight was really fun. Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you go watch the first and second one, they are insane. They are so good.
They really are. Like they still hold up.
Still hold up. Absolutely.
And then now she's writing more, which I'm so excited about.
She's doing Hamish's season, his games. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Oh my
Genuinely.
gosh.
And Snows,
That one was good.
the movie.
The movie was better than the book.
It
I'm going to throw that
was.
out there. The movie was better
They
than the book.
did good.
It was so good. The movie was amazing.
And I haven't been like super proud of movies lately, so I was like super pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I loved that.
I really loved the
Hunger
movie.
Games was iconic though.
Yep. Hunger Games.
Same thing. Opened my mind to this like dystopian world.
Yes. But we also like read a bunch of dystopian books for school too at the same time.
But this one was like more fun.
Yeah, it was more fun.
The other dystopian ones sometimes were like
Heavy.
a little dry, a little heavy, a little lot.
I didn't like them.
This one had romance.
And, like an amazing heroine
yeah.
who was
2 boys.
Yeah.
1 girl.
okay. So we were talking about this. So I just started Throne of Glass, right?
Yeah.
And it's giving me all of the same vibes, right? And we were talking about how I was like, oh my gosh, I really hope there's a love triangle situation going on in it. And I was like, obviously there has to be a love triangle. Like that is a pinnacle of
romance.
our high school experience was the love triangle, was Twilight, was Hunger Games, was Divergent, was
Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries. Oh my gosh.
Gotta have a love triangle.
What else was I just thinking of? Even Mean Girls. That was like way earlier, but still, like they're both in love with Aaron.
Yeah.
Anywho,
It's one of my favorite tropes.
I love
ever.
a good love triangle.
I love it. Oh, this was also peak Marvel, I feel like. Okay, maybe not peak.
I did go see
But OG.
the Avengers. I saw the Avengers.
Yeah.
I was like in the front row on the day that it premiered
Oh my gosh.
on a first date.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I thought I was,
eye twitch.
I know. Well, I was like in my brain. I was like, ooh, I thought I was gonna marry him too.
Did you think you were going to marry every boy you went on a date with?
Absolutely. See, but then you'd go on the date and you're like, I don't know.
If
But,
I
like-
am going to get married to him, am I going to be happy?
Right. But if a dude asked me on a date, we're getting married.
Oh.
I didn't go on a man. Okay, let me throw this out there.
Cute little Marley.
I did not have a very in-depth dating experience until I went to college. I didn't really date in high school as much.
I dated a lot.
Like I could count probably on one hand how many dates I went on in high school.
I went on too many dates.
How many boys did you kiss in high school?
Too many boys.
So there's that. And I kissed 0. So anywho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had like a new boyfriend like every other month or so. Not really, but
I think it
basically.
was every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Every other month.
Well, some of them were like longer lasting or
okay.
like on again, off again. And
Yeah.
maybe there was someone else in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of. I was very, there was no, I mean, I can't even speak right now. There was just no hope for me. I was
Right.
hopeless romantic. And I was, my mom
Yes.
was like, let's let's just have fun. I was like, but I'm in love.
And it's
Serious.
Allie and Noah from The Notebook.
Yeah.
Love.
Yep, it was at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah. There were some good boys sprinkled in there too. Some really like genuinely,
That's good.
you guys are wonderful human beings. But then there was some of the other opposite end of the spectrum boys too. But I learned a lot in high school because of that. So when I went to college, I did actually do
Is it
a
recording?
lot better. Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
The little red blinky.
I maybe am blind and I can't see the red blinky.
No, you're good. You're
Okay,
good.
cool, thanks. I was just like,
we don't have it.
but yes, absolutely. Yes. Peak Marvel. I loved the Avengers. That was so fun.
It was so fun.
That was, I think, in 2011, 2012.
Guardians of the Galaxies too.
The first one came out. Oh my gosh.
That was my favorite.
That's crazy.
Marvel ever still to this day.
Mine's
I
Iron
love
Man.
it.
Thor. That was a big one too. Captain America.
Yeah. Those are good.
They were good. Oh, they were fun.
Okay, what about favorite music in high school?
Oh my gosh, I didn't write it down. But there was this song. Okay, there's a bunch of songs. Let's throw this out there. Anything Kesha, loved her at the time. Like TikTok, because that was such a big song.
TikTok.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That
so
was
big.
like a classic dance song at every single dance.
I remember I was in a class that was like called PALS or whatever, but it's where you as a high school student are assigned to a maybe like more troubled student at a different school. Usually they're in like elementary school, so they're little. Anywho, and they usually just have like behavioral problems. They need someone to like just hang out with for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Anywho, so we'd drive to different schools every day.
Yeah.
And had our little pal that we'd hang out with.
Was it called Big Sister something?
No, it's called PALS.
We had one here.
But I'm sure it was
like
similar.
Big Sister, yeah.
Yeah. But it was really fun. Loved it. And I think I did that my junior year. And then I was, and we carpooled with people. So we were all like 16, 17 years old. And I was assigned my carpool buddy.
Yeah.
Dude drove a Mustang, like a really new, fully manual.
That's a nice.
Manual Mustang.
That's a nice buddy.
And he had a beautiful singing voice, could play guitar. Was I in love? 100%.
Were you getting married?
Probably not. He never looked at me like that.
I'm
my
just
gosh.
teasing.
I was obsessed with this guy. Oof. He was tall. He was handsome. He sang. Anywho, so he'd play music in his car as we were driving, and we'd like scream sing together.
Ooh.
This was one of the most popular boys in school. I was a nobody. I was a choir geek in school, okay? But we'd scream sing together, and it's so fun. Oh my gosh.
So fun.
Without You by Usher.
Yes.
My gosh.
Usher in general back then.
I mean, he's still just as good. He performed at the Super Bowl, and it was awesome. Mike, not so much, but the costumes, the dancing, I'm still obsessed with Usher. I love him so much.
I didn't even watch it, so I can't comment.
You didn't?
No.
But Taylor Swift was there.
I know. I watched clips of her being there on Instagram.
I watched the entire thing.
Yeah.
It was so fun. But yes, Usher, love Usher. I feel like Katy Perry was a big one at the time.
she
like
was.
Roar
She
was
really
a big
big.
song at the time.
I'm not a Katy Perry fan.
I love Katy Perry. I think just because her music is like fun and catchy.
Yeah.
She's just like a silly person, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what was this one song? Gavin DeGraw. He sang this song. I'll have to look it up. I can't remember, but it was like it was a ballad, and there were like those ballady songs that you just loved. Adele. Oh my gosh, she was a big one too.
For some reason, all I can think of right now is this was at every single dance here in Utah. The apple bottom jeans song.
They played that?
Oh yeah. Boots with the fur.
I was way big into Glee at the time. And so there was kind of like a resurgence of 80s music at the time. So like Journey was the big thing, which was so fun because I grew up listening to Journey because my parents were obsessed.
Classic.
Yeah. Yep. So I sang, like, I was in choir, and I like did show choir and stuff as well. So like we did so many fun 80s songs. Anything that was on Glee, I was obsessed with music wise. Oh,
I didn't watch Glee. I didn't think I was allowed to watch Glee.
I probably wasn't, but I did it anyway. Sorry, Mom.
Now I'm like, it's fun. But like back then I was like, there's like things in there. I can't watch that.
I mean, in the first episode, you find out that one of the main characters gets pregnant in high school.
Yeah.
So
I think that's why I wasn't allowed to
like
watch
Secret
it.
Life of American Teenager?
No.
That was a
didn't
no-go.
watch that. No.
But did you watch Vampire Diaries in high school?
No.
I didn't either. Okay.
But as soon as I was out of high school, you better believe I binged Vampire Diaries and fell in love with Damon Salvatore. Still am to this day. Sorry, Hire. Just kidding.
Sorry, not sorry.
My favorite songs, okay, not favorites, but like I feel like these were iconic when I think of high school. Happy by Pharrell Williams.
Yeah.
That was so big.
It's still big, I feel
I
like.
listened to it way too many times. It's like burned into my brain.
Yep.
Brave.
Yeah.
By Sarah Bareilles also.
Oh, that one's a good one.
So good.
I love
When
Sarah.
I did Distinguished Young Woman, which used to be called Junior Miss, if anyone here knows of either. Brave was like our theme song for Utah. And so I loved that one.
Okay, that
was really happy.
I love that.
Pop in general. The album Red by Taylor Swift.
We haven't even talked about Taylor Swift.
No, but we talk about her all the time. So it's just kind of like a given.
Right.
Like if you don't know that we're going to talk about Taylor Swift, if we don't talk about Taylor Swift, like you still need to know that was obviously like a favorite. It's so obvious we didn't have to say it.
Well, okay, so I remember buying 1987, the deluxe version, and Scream singing that so much.
This is back in the days when we still bought like iTunes.
Mm-hmm. Yep, paid for music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I loved paying for music.
I did too. I would like collect gift cards,
Mm-hmm.
iTunes gift cards.
That's all I ever wanted for my birthdays or anything.
Same.
Yep.
So I could get music.
Sweet 16. I remember getting so many iTunes gift cards.
Yeah.
I had like 20 people come to my Sweet 16.
And they all gave you iTunes.
Not everyone, but most people.
All the people that did correctly.
Yeah.
Brought that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was just a different time. I had an iPod with my name engraved into the back of it.
What color was yours? Purple or something?
Mine was an iPod Touch.
Oh,
like
okay.
one of it had like the wheel. But then I actually
Mine was a Nano.
I got one of those and mine was purple.
Mm-hmm.
But the other one I was really sad. It was engraved with my name and like a few other details on the back, and I accidentally left it on an airplane.
Oh, that's so sad.
Like a week after I got it.
I had an iPod Nano,
so
and it was blue, and it had my name on it.
Yeah.
As well. And I paid for it myself, and I was really proud of myself.
Oh.
I like babysat and stuff at the time, so.
Man.
I know.
High school.
I know.
So
Oh my gosh, this is way too fun. We haven't even like gotten into all the fun juicy stuff.
Yeah.
We're just
We'll
vibing.
move along.
All right, hangout spots. Where'd you hang out?
So multiple places. We had off-campus lunch at my high school, and we didn't have uniforms. I feel so bad for you.
We didn't have off-campus lunch, and we had uniforms.
But we all still ate at the school, but
Yeah.
we did not eat school food.
Oh.
We would either choose a classroom of a teacher that we really liked to eat in, or we would find a hall, and everyone, like, within the first day, like, you had your spot.
Oh.
And then that was like your spot for the next 4 years. Like, you
Okay.
didn't move around.
Mm-hmm.
So we had like this one particular hall where all of our friends would come. And I literally remember people, since we never ate school lunch, and I would come with anything but a sandwich for lunch because I didn't like sandwiches because I'm super extra like that. Which now I'm gluten free. So
I was
it's
going to
like,
say, little did you know you're going to grow up to still not eat sandwiches.
but people would steal the food out of my lunchbox
rude.
because I had so many unique things,
She had
and
the
they
cool
thought
stuff.
that was really interesting. So they were like, in fact, at one point, because this one particular boy kept stealing my food, I had to play a little prank.
Ooh.
To help him learn not to take my food.
Throwback to the prank queen.
So I took powdered donuts, which I knew he would obviously steal,
Obviously.
and I covered them in baking soda
Oh, ew.
instead of powdered sugar.
Is that safe?
I mean, you take one bite and then you spit it back out.
Okay.
And then he didn't steal from me as much. Still did, but he was a little bit more wary.
Warranted.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not even a prank. That is just self-defense.
Yeah. Keep off my donuts.
Absolutely.
And
Pause
my
off,
green
bro.
olives. And the other things that I was bringing. Just anything. I
Yeah.
brought weird things.
Yeah, that's kinda weird.
I was extra. So that was a big hangout spot.
She wasn't like other girls.
No. Never. Just kidding. That's so stupid.
She was the basic.
But that was one of my hangout spots. My house, honestly, was like a huge hangout spot. We did
that's so
so many things. We had a pool. We would do movie nights. We had a basement. So it was just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hang out at school. My hangout spot was the choir room, and I would hang out a lot of times by myself just to practice. Okay.
Marley.
When I say choir was my life, choir was my life.
Yeah.
Okay. I could have cared less about school. I did well in school. It was fine. I graduated with like honors or whatever, but I didn't like try. It was okay. But choir's where I just like, I had no life. It was choir. So that's why I'd like eat lunch.
It's like awesome though, because you like really honed that skill. I feel like for me, I was so spread out. I was so worried that I needed to be good at everything and have my nose in everything.
Yeah.
So I was like a little bit ADHD in every direction.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
I just found my niche and that was it. and it was so fun. I had done band before.
Okay.
Played the oboe, and I didn't want the band director from high school met with me when I was still in 8th grade and said, okay, if you want to be in marching band, you have to learn how to play the saxophone. I was like, I don't want to play the saxophone. No, thank you. Anywho, so then I went and auditioned for choir, and they're like, yeah, absolutely, you're in the choir.
Oh, that's so fun.
They needed people. That was the thing. Really? They needed people.
See, here in Utah, choir wasn't nerdy. It was like really cool. Band was nerdy.
All of it was nerdy.
And so we genuinely had people from like all walks of high school. I was going to say walks of life, but all walks of high school. Yeah. Also in choir, which was really fun.
That is fun.
And I also did the audition choirs, which was big for me because I had some struggles with like public speaking and stuff. And like, oh man, I would cry before, during, and after my auditions. But I made it into the choirs and got to travel to New York City with my choirs and was in quartets. It was amazing.
I mean, I can't complain. We went to Louisiana, went to New Orleans.
That's so cool.
And we went to Memphis, and I got to see Graceland, and that was so fun. Oh my gosh, Graceland.
That's so fun.
Will always in my heart, and so will New Orleans and all of the boys I was in love with on those trips.
Yep, that's very true and very real.
Yep.
The drama that would happen.
Exactly.
For us, it was always New York. We would always sing in Carnegie Hall. But my last year, we got to sing not as just like part of like a Utah choir. We got to sing as the soul choir on the stage. And that was so cool. So fun. But my choir teacher did say moments before we went onto the stage.
This is my favorite.
That we were going to, she said, and I quote, "You are going to lay an egg on Carnegie Hall." And we were like, lay an egg? What does that even mean?
That is my
favorite.
favorite.
We were terrified. We didn't want to lay an egg on Carnegie Hall. We were singing a song in Chinese, guys.
Whoa, I didn't know that part of the story.
Yeah, we were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. We were scared, and everything had to be memorized to the utmost. So it was really scary.
Oh my gosh.
I don't speak Chinese.
Here's something that artsy people, okay, when you're in choir, when you're in band, when you do a musical, when you do anything of the sort, okay, I think it's because it's a collection of a bunch of people who are a little bit neurodivergent, right? So that like when you're practicing, when you're getting ready for something, it's not really great or perfect until you do the performance.
Literally. It was probably the worst we'd ever done moments before we went on to Carnegie Hall stage.
We're a little procrastinating when it comes to the artsy people. It's bad.
And I think there were nerves too. So it was like, but not like it wasn't like the right adrenaline. It was like, we're not out there yet.
Yeah.
But we're going to lay an egg.
Right.
So now we're really scared.
So, but then you get out there
and it was
something clicks.
The best we've ever done. It actually worked out.
Yes. There is a reason that like when you do musicals, when you do like the tech week of before a performance, and not even musicals, but like choir, you do a tech week.
Yeah.
Where you're doing your performances and you're practicing with everything on stage, you're doing lighting, you're doing blocking, everything like that. There's a reason they call it Hell Week, is because it is so stressful.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, we lived and breathed music, practicing. Oh my gosh.
But then you just like, with the people that you're performing with, we didn't.
It's honestly, my husband and I were talking about this too. We were like, in the US, it really is amazing that we have these public schools or private schools or whatever, but these schools that you can go into and get top tier, not only education, like formal education, but top tier extracurriculars. Like where else are you going to be able to dabble in so many things with the best of the best at 14 to 18?
Yep.
Like that's crazy pants.
So growing up in Texas, in the area that I'm in, it is insane when it comes to anything football related. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we have some of the best high school bands, choirs, drill teams, cheerleaders, anything related to football.
Yeah.
It is some of the best out there.
Theater. Same thing.
Gosh.
Like for us, honestly, I'm just like, that is amazing that we got those opportunities. And shout out to the teachers of the world because you guys are phenomenal.
Amen.
And genuinely, like I look back now and I'm like, that really was so cool that we got to be at like a 5-star level at that age.
Right.
In anything you wanted. Anything. Pick something. The art teacher is like on crack cocaine, they're so good. I mean,
so
obviously.
good. Yeah.
But everything like that. I'm like, that is
Obviously,
so cool.
It does kind of depend on the area, but we
Yeah.
lucked out and we were in like,
Really good areas.
like people recruit basketball players for college and pro from your school that you graduated from.
Yeah.
People that I graduated high school with were recruited for college and for NFL.
Yeah.
For football.
Yeah.
Like they were recruited straight from my high school, from the graduating class with me.
That's so crazy.
I know. Yeah. It's so fun though. This episode is proudly sponsored by Event Penguin, your go-to solution for creating unforgettable events. Say goodbye to clunky and hard-to-use event sites and create your next event in minutes today.
Whether it's a party, conference, or a networking event, Event Penguin has everything you need to bring your vision to life. Visit eventpenguin.com today and discover beautiful, customizable event pages that make planning a breeze. With a seamless guest experience, Event Penguin lets you focus on what truly matters, making your event a smashing success. Start building your community through events effortlessly. Jump in!
So amazing. The experiences that we were able to have because of the areas we were in.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So good. So cool.
I know.
Yeah.
I have fond memories, honestly.
Yeah.
And I know it wasn't all perfect, and we do graduate for a reason. But I really do have fond memories, and I am really grateful for a lot of the experiences I had in high school.
Absolutely. Wasn't perfect. And there's definitely, like, I'm a completely different person than I was when I was in high school.
Oh, same. Like,
But
not even the same at all.
But I look back at that and I'm like, oh, that was still really fun.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It
I know
is
that wasn't
so
everyone's experience, and I feel bad for those that didn't have any sort of good experience. But
if you're one of those people, then you can just live our experiences while you're listening to this podcast episode.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people really don't have a good time in high school.
Yeah.
And that really is so sad.
I mean, there's like movies about it, you know?
Yeah. But I really did.
Yeah. It, like I said, it wasn't perfect, and there were times for me when it was really, really hard and really tough. But
I went through some of my hardest health challenges in high school.
Like you almost died.
I had, friendships end that were like catastrophic and all kinds of relationships, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But still,
yeah,
it was a pivotal time of my life.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of friends in high school, I was the person, and we've kind of talked about this before, that like we were everyone's friend, right? And I had maybe like one or two really close friends in high school, but I still wasn't like as open with them. Like I didn't know how to be a friend fully at that time. Like I wasn't obviously a fully formed human. I didn't have a full, prefrontal cortex at the time. And so
Not yet anyway.
Right. And so I didn't know how to like really have good relationships. And so I just kind of like let people steamroll me. And I'm sure I steamrolled people and wasn't like great at navigating those friendships. But I do think about like some of my closest friends in high school. I obviously had really close friends in high school from choir. That kind of came later on in high school because at first people didn't like me. Like very, very obvious, like in class, I remember. So I know it was bad. But when I went into high school, I was in like the women's choir, and it wasn't an audition choir. And it was I was a freshman, my first semester or whatever. And I was a loud singer. And so my choir director decided to move me up into the audition choir. I didn't audition for it, but she just moved me up mid-semester and was like, okay, we want you in this one. So I was like, sweet, cool. And then I got into that choir, and it was a mixed choir with, girls and boys. And I just remember this dude, Melvin Anderson. I'm like, I remember his name and everything. And he just like was in the middle of a practice, and he was just like, Marley is singing way too loud. And I don't know why it didn't like occur to me to sing quieter. I just never been in like choir really before. I'd done like church choir, but that's like nothing.
But you're mainly like singing by yourself.
I wasn't ever in a competitive choir. That was new. Anyway, and so it just like we had to stop rehearsal, and my choir director was like, well, everyone should just match Marley then. And so at that point, she's kind of like pit me against everyone.
Oh no, that's awkward.
And then I became like choir president, and I beat out other people that had been in choir longer. They were older than me. So they hated me, and they were very, very
that's tough.
vocal about their
that's
disdain. Yeah. I had a really hard time. Yeah. And then I think about some of my best friends, and I have talked about this before. I think that I have a friend who, maybe I didn't. I think I talked to you on the Marco Polo when I was going through my stuff. I have a friend that she wrote books in high school.
Oh yeah, you told me.
And I have like, one is a home printed copy where it's like she just printed it for her computer for like a short story. Yeah. And then I have like an actual printed book that she wrote.
That's so cool.
And she would like read me pages of her book every day. And that was so fun. Or another friend of mine that I would do sleepovers with like every single Friday. And I watched all of the nostalgic movies, Proposal and
so fun.
What is it? The Cinderella Story and like Mean Girls and all of those movies and stuff. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I had a couple of really good friends. Maybe I didn't know how to exactly be like a great friend at the time, but they were pretty cool.
I don't think anyone for sure knows back then, you know? So it's like, give yourself some grace. We're all figuring it out.
Yeah, you're right.
And we're all high school student kids,
right?
You know, high school age, doing weird stuff.
Hormonal.
Weird stuff.
That's another thing.
Yes.
My favorite trend right now, everything that's going around is like the whole, I remember when I lost my mind. And they look back and they're like, I did something really cringy to impress a boy usually, or a girl. And you're just like, what were we thinking?
I remember when I was petty and crunched a bag of chips and put it on someone's head. Yeah. Lots of things.
Exactly.
Lost my mind there for a little bit.
Like I said, hormones. I think that's the main thing is we're going through like heavy puberty, had braces.
Yeah.
It was all new. And we were also kind of becoming a little bit more independent.
Yeah.
You started driving. I started driving. You know, we like,
oh yeah,
boys.
All of it.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny because I look back and I think about high school, and I used to say that I was just friends with boys and that like I didn't get along with girls and stuff. But I'm looking back and I'm like, I have a lot of memories with really good girlfriends. So I'm like, weird.
Yeah.
I think I was friends with boys, and then I also wanted to date them.
Right. You were friends to date eventually.
Yeah.
Right.
And I had a couple guy friends who were strictly guy friends for me. I don't know if that was the same on their end because they would always try stuff and
little piney maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Poor guys.
Or just like yeah.
There's always going to be that classic trope, and I love it so much, where it's like super cute girl dating the like toxic boy with the good dude who's in the friend zone.
Really good friend zone.
And he's just like, why are you always dating the crappy dudes?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was very much the case for me often. But I also was like, I want to be friends with everyone, and I had a lot of friends in different areas because, again, like I was saying earlier, I was trying to do all the things.
Yeah.
So I was on swim team and I swam 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. So I had friends there.
Holy.
And then I had my choir friends, and they were like my lifeblood friends.
Both. Oh my gosh.
It was insane. It was really insane. And then I had my AP class friends, and we would like study together. And then I had my, just every different group. Oh, and then I had my friends that came from middle school, and they brought some of their friends, and we made a group of 6 girls, and we named ourselves the M&Ms. And we assigned each of us a color.
Oh, so cute.
And just classic, like, dumb high school stuff. Like,
I love it.
Yeah. And there was drama, friends liking the same guy in the friend group. Yep. And, like, how do you navigate that? And losing friendships over a guy that we've never thought of since.
Right.
Or will ever again.
Right.
All kinds of
There's
things
always
in
gotta be a
high
fallout.
school. But I was lucky to have quite a few amazing people, and now when I look back, I'm genuinely like, I'm so grateful for those people, and I genuinely still love them, and I think about them often and the things that I learned from them. My choir friends were some of my very favorites because, like I said, it kind of brought in all walks of high school, and so we were very different than each other. And I was not a loud singer. Like I said, I was the one that was like sobbing during my audition. And my choir teacher said, in another quote from her, this is going to make her sound so bad, all these quotes I'm giving.
She was stressed.
But she put me into the audition choir, and I came in and she was like, I need to have a word with you. And I was like, okay. And she was like, you're great, but I need you to know something. And I was like, okay. And she's like, you are a goldfish in a tank full of sharks.
What?
And I was like,
Oh no.
I'm a goldfish. Meep.
Oh no.
I'll be a goldfish then. So, but then I had this one specific girl in my quartet. A quartet is 4 singers, right? You got a soprano, you got an alto, a tenor, and a bass. And so 2 girls, 2 boys. And the other girl in mine was phenomenal. Loud, opera.
Was she the soprano or the alto?
She was the alto.
You were the soprano.
I was a soprano.
Holy.
I was first soprano.
That's amazing.
I was singing away high. But we periodically had to do solos in front of the class, and that literally made me want to
We never
die.
did that. Mm-mm.
But she would just support the crap out of me. And even though I was a goldfish and she was a shark,
She was a girl.
in the sense that of our voices in comparison, you know, and I
Yeah.
was told I was a goldfish, so I felt like a goldfish.
Yeah.
But she was just like, you got this. And anyway, we became such good friends with our quartets and stuff, and we really all were so different. And then it's so funny because I was a goody 2-shoes, but by the end of my choir experience, I was told by my choir teacher that I was the problem with the choir
Oh no.
because I was causing too much drama.
Oh no.
Meaning just
With boys.
and girls. Just,
Oh no.
we were creating friendships, and we would goof off too much. And the president of the choir was like, pay attention. And we were like, but it's so funny because
That
at the
would've been me.
beginning, that's how I
I
was.
was like,
I was the same way. And by the end, I was like, bleh. Not about the songs. I was dedicated, but we goofed off a lot.
that's so funny.
Yeah, I had
That's so
so
funny.
much fun with friends. It was really good. And also not so good.
Do you
know?
remember? Okay, this is so random, but I remember because I was in choir class at the time. We'll have to share some of our like singing in choir videos or something because we're talking a
Yes.
lot about choir.
Yeah.
But I remember
This is more a choir episode than it is
I know,
anything
I know.
else. Just kidding.
But I remember when I was in choir when it hit 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. You know, so like 11, 11 in the like
Of the month.
Of the day.
11.
like during the day, 11 o'clock and 11 minutes of November 11th, 2011.
Wow.
And I was in the middle of choir class and everyone just kind of stopped because there was like a digital clock on the wall and we all just like had to throw that in there for a second.
Oh, I love high school.
And my choir director was like, what is going on? And we're like, it's 11, 11, 11, 11.
Oh my goodness. I
Good
love
stuff.
it so much.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I've never gotten like throw uppy, I guess, with auditions and stuff or crying. I would just get like nervous peas. But I wanted to do the solos. I wanted to be the star. I thought I was Rachel Berry. If you have watched Glee, I was Rachel Berry. The character I'm 100% sure was based on me. Okay? I sang multiple funny girl songs. If you know Glee, you know that Rachel Berry is obsessed with Funny Girl and she sings songs from that musical. And I did the same because they were really hard. And I was like, obviously I can sing those. I sang Girl in 13G by Kristen Chenoweth. Like these were the songs that I was like, I am the star. And I thought I was going to go to like Juilliard or whatever. Obviously that didn't happen. But
Oh, wow.
I thought I was going to be like,
That's amazing.
I thought I was
honestly.
going to be like a Broadway star.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that was not me.
I knew that wasn't in the cards for me because I was a goldfish.
Like I wanted to go be Christine Daae. Yeah. I have done some amazing performances.
Yeah, you have.
But I did not become Christine Daae.
Well, maybe you did.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. It's not a showy, but
Yeah.
I think you're pretty amazing. So
Thank you.
And I love your voice.
Oh, that's fun. I mean, when you dedicate, hours and hours and hours. I was in 2 choir classes every single day.
Oh my
and I would
gosh.
go to school early and stay late for practices. And then I'd be in audition choirs and stuff like that. Like it was an obsession. It was not healthy.
But it was your life.
Yeah.
It was your high school life.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
so fun. Oh, good times. Oh my gosh. I'm just like,
I know.
yeah.
I do
the
miss
music.
choir. I really do. I miss music as well. Even the music theory and stuff. Like
Yeah.
we would take music theory tests and
Well, because then you'd have to perform, like you'd have to sight read music.
Yeah.
Did you guys do that?
Oh, yeah.
For competitions, you'd have to sight read? Yeah.
Yeah, we had to sight read, and I played the piano a lot as well, not in choir, because again, I'm not showing anyone. I was going to do that at home. I was not going to like publicly say I
No,
could
but
play
then
the
you
piano.
did.
Yeah, but anyway, I did it so great on all the music theory tests and things like that, and I was like so proud of that. And now I'm like, there's so many things I'm already forgetting because I don't like do it and think about it, and it used to be really, really important to me. So it's weird.
I was recently in a choir, and then I had to kind of give it up recently, but I hope to pick it back up someday.
Yeah.
But I am curious, what did you perform for Junior Miss? What was your piano song that you played?
I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You gotta go figure that out.
Yeah. I had 2 different ones. I had one that I played for Alpine.
Okay.
For the city Alpine, and then that's the one that I won with, and then I played another one for state.
There's just an iconic picture of her. So I went a digging. I went a stalking on Facebook today. And there's this iconic picture of her hunched over the piano, so into this song, and it's for Junior Miss, I think.
Yeah, it was.
So it was when your hair was super short and you're just like, it's like a ball gown, not a ball gown, but like a
dress
formal
from
dress.
Dillard's.
Yeah, it was so fun. Anywho, so I need
on state. Yeah, that was so crazy.
From behind, and you look like you're so intense and
I
hunched.
I have never played the piano like I played it for that.
Did you cry before and after?
Absolutely. I also threw up on stage, but I was sick, so that's a different story. I had to give all of me. It was right after I almost died from my
your
health
esophagus
challenges.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was still having, anyway, I was having things, but different story. I'm proud of myself for that.
Jeez.
I gave all of myself to those performances because, like I said, that was my worst fear in the world. In the world.
Yeah.
And I'm getting better and better. Here I am videotaping myself. Like, it's like fun.
I know.
It is actually fun.
But we also don't have a live audience.
That's true.
Yet.
I
mean, not that it's like in the works, but it's definitely on the to-do list.
It's in the works for the future.
Yeah. It's a dream.
I feel like we're going to have to come back to this topic because you guys have already been listening to us for a very long time. Because turns out we were like, oh, this will be quick and fun and easy. We thought it was like chat about like some of the throwbacks of high school. Turns out we have a lot to say, and I have a lot more to say.
Yeah, I do too.
And I also want to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah.
So we may have to do some submission episodes as well.
Yeah.
We're talking like cringiest dates in high school, cringiest dances, best dance experiences, best friendships, craziest adventures, all of it. We got to hear all of it. So
if you're arrested, please let us know.
Yeah.
Did you fork a guy's house? Did you get TP'd? Did you steal a car?
Your own?
So anywho, we're going to want to know all of that. Yeah. I don't think we're done with this topic.
No.
We have not even covered, there's so many things we haven't covered, but I'm just thinking like we haven't covered like maybe the things that we wish we knew as a kid.
Yeah.
Or like what we would tell our younger selves. I want to go back and like tell her things.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
This has honestly been therapeutic for me, even just sitting here though, because I'm like thinking about my friendships and experiences I had and who I was and like why I did some of the things that I did. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's okay, little high school Kylie. Like, it's okay. You got this. It's going to turn out. Don't need to be so scared. It's all going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the idea that like each version of yourself is still with you.
Yeah.
And you can still be teaching and growing those little people that are still part of you. I love that.
I love that. That's beautiful imagery.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna wrap it up for today, I think, because we're gonna have to come back to this.
Thanks for tuning in for a high school throwback. Hopefully it was fun.
I know.
Hopefully you're thinking back to some of your high school memories, and we're gonna continue this conversation.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Living Big podcast. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts.
Join us on Instagram and TikTok for all the things, from relatable mom memes to fun girls' night ideas with your besties. See you next week.